What is up, Bucs Nation? You're watching another episode of the Loose Cannons podcast. I'm your boy Sam. We're hanging out with Stanker tonight. Latte
What's up, man?
Join us, unfortunately. But, hey, before we hit the ground running, make sure you hit the like button and the subscribe button if you are new. Welcome to the show, Stanker.
What's up, baby?
It was a stanker of a game last week, but it's gone now.
I missed Monday, and I didn't have a chance to go through the therapy session. But you held it down. You made me feel a lot better. And here we are Thursday night. Feel like I'm over it. Like the poison is out of my system a little bit. Still a little angry, more so at the at our fan base than the team, honestly. But I'm gonna let that shit go. I'm gonna let that shit. I'm gonna give us a chance. Yeah, I'm gonna give us a chance. My hate is now focused on something completely different. You know, our non-rivals play tonight, and I'm looking forward to screaming out Duval, because it's a Florida thing, right? Can we do that?
Yeah,
can we do that?
We're Jaguars fans tonight, baby.
Okay,
absolutely.
Good.
Yeah, I've been to Jacksonville. It's not a terrible place. It's not a great place. It's like in the middle, but it's definitely better than anything Louisiana has to offer. I know that much.
Oh, that's. You're talking about the toilet bowl of the United States, bro. It's the absolute worst of the worst, just in every way. But back to our football team. Yeah, that was not what I wanted to see. I think
24-hour rule. It's over.
I know. I'm just gonna still speak on it. And I kind of like what I heard from Canales and the players in the press conferences today. That guy's always positive, so it's good to see you got a guy in the building like that who seems to know where our failures are at, and he's not wrong. We got to score in the red zone. We got to make the plays that are there, and there were plays to be made on the field. Outside of some of his questionable play calls, still I feel like we had opportunities that we missed, and this is a division game, so this one counts as double. And people count Atlanta out like they're trash. I think they're actually probably right behind us in regards to talent. And I think it's gonna be a tough game, man, because they run the ball. They play fairly physical football, and they've had success running against us before. And we looked better last week against the run, but we've got to be on our A game, man. They got to come out and match their intensity and come out and be aggressive on the offensive side of the ball.
So that kind of after that game last week, you said it's a division game. That's kind of like the first thing we're going to talk about is this Sunday a must-win game? And so this has kind of been floating around. People have been talking about it. I've seen it on some articles. I've seen it in some tweets. I've seen it in some media stuff. Is this a must-win? I don't think it's a must-win, but I do think it's a very bounce-back opportunity type of a game. And it's one that you kind of have to have because it's, like you said, it's a division game. And it kind of locks you into first place for now. And it, again, continues the dominance of, the Buccaneers over everyone else in the NFC South. And it just kind of gets you back on track because we've got a hell of a schedule coming up. So this game is one that the ones you got to win are the ones you're supposed to win are the ones you got to win. Like, this is one of those for me. So I don't know if I want to call it a must win, but I'm curious because you have a different energy about stuff like this. Like, is this going to be one of those, if we don't win this, you're going to lose your shit? Like, it happens about 3 or 4 times a season with you?
It's the opportunity to put a little bit of room between us and our division is there. We already have a game up on the Saints. We just need to continue to win. We're right back at it next Thursday night in a hostile environment in Buffalo. So the opportunity to snowball in either direction is there. And I feel like this is a very winnable game. This is a game we should win at home against a team I think we're better than. And if we beat ourselves, it's not going to turn out well. But if we play our game, and I think we punch them in the mouth, I don't think they really stand a chance if we're on our game. And I expect it's going to be a close game, but I still feel like we're the better team, and we can take that momentum into Buffalo, who is kind of like us. Like, one week they look good, and one week they look like one of the worst teams in the NFL. And I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but
any given Sunday with that team.
Yeah, this tandem of games right here is either going to be, put us under 500 or well over 500. And I hate to see the split. I'd love to see us win them both, man, and really take control of the win-loss record in this division.
My thing with this game is you kind of want to grease the wheels here and get ready for that Buffalo matchup. It's a short week, so I'd like to see the Bucs put an opponent away sooner rather than later, so that we can kind of, I don't want to say take the foot off the gas, because you can still lose a game in the NFL when you do stuff like that. We've seen that, especially in college football too. But I want to see them kind of be able to coast to a win, avoid some late quarter injuries, have some other guys get in there, kind of get some reps under their belt, and just kind of slide into the very, very short week of Thursday. Not only is it a short week that's Thursday, it's shorter in a sense because now we're traveling to Buffalo, right? Yep. So you kind of lose a day in there as well, and your practice schedule gets put all, out of whack. Guys who may think they can play nicked up are not going to play nicked up with one day, or actually a couple of days fewer. Right? It's a whole thing. So if you could put away an opponent like the Falcons sooner in a game like this, you have to, and I'd love to see the Bucs do that. I haven't talked to you on the show in so long. This is so weird. It's been me and myself just kind of looking back at it. It's been a Michael Jackson type of show here the last few weeks, man. I don't like it.
Well, not just that. I mean, you're on fully loaded now with JC. I'm sure if you guys don't know, Sammer's got another podcast that he's co-hosting, and then you had to pick up the weight for me and Latte on Monday because life happens. And so, yeah, it's just been you lately. And I'm sure other people are sick of you because I can only handle you in like really small.
I was real close to rebranding the whole thing to Loose Cannon Podcast.
I know it's like a dream for you. It really is. But
I could still do the 4 box and just have 4 of me and just have us all saying the exact same thing. I mean, we'd all agree with each other. Very humble way to go about things, obviously. No arguing. It'd be a nice, peaceful pod. But
no. All right, who else is there to keep you accountable? If it's not Latte or me, then you're just free to run wild with your idiotic opinions and takes.
And Sammer 4, Sammer 4 is probably the stickler. Sammer 4 is probably the stickler of the bunch, if we're being honest. He's very meticulous, very, very attention to detail type guy. But anyway, speaking of attention to detail, Stank, keys to victory, man. We keep talking about how this is a must win or is a game that we should win and we gotta win. How do the Bucs win this game, man? How do the Bucs go into Atlanta? Coming off of this,
not go into it.
A pretty
Atlanta's coming into us.
Go into Ray J, and kind of get revenge on themselves, if that makes sense. Get revenge on the team in the mirror that was, especially on the offensive side. How are the Bucs going to go ahead and do that against the Falcons this week? I have my ideas, obviously. I'm gonna let
Play
you
pissed
start.
off football. Like Baker said right after the game. Play pissed off football. Everybody's pissed. Tristan Wirfs is pissed. They know they're better than scoring 6 points. So they have to put points on the board, and the defense just needs to keep doing what they've been doing and gradually, uh, gradually, learn how to close teams out a little bit. I feel like we're good at holding teams, but we haven't seen a dominant performance for 4 quarters against any opponent yet. Like our defense does well, but then they end up gassing out, and it's similar to how it was last year, where ultimately the offense just isn't doing its job. Defense is on the field the entire game, and they end up, not giving up the booty towards the end of the game. Like if you watched, I don't know, a good example is how Dallas was able to close out a team like I want to say San Diego, the fucking Chargers, like
Chargers.
they step up and perform and make that game-saving, game-winning play and really put their foot on the necks of Atlanta's offense. Ritter isn't special, but the guy's good enough to win football games, especially with how they built the offense around him. He's not a guy that's going to win it on his own skill alone, but with that running game, with the weapons they have,
We haven't seen
a guy like
we haven't seen the Bucs end a game win so far on defense. They've been in victory formation. It's been on offense. It's been like, let's go bleed the clock for 4 minutes and call it a day. So it would be nice to see what the Cowboys did. They end up getting that sack. They kept Micah Parsons. Haven't heard from him all night. All of a sudden, in the drive that matters the most, Micah Parsons is there. And his guys on the line also show up. They get sacks. They create pressure. Next thing you know, it's interception, game over. And you're like, okay. So, yeah, I agree with you. That's funny because, man, Todd Bowles said almost the exact same thing. He said, I'd like to see our defense be further along at this point and play an entire game. You can't have 4 or 5 minutes in a game where you lapse on defense because you could lose a game to that. So I'd like to see the Bucs dominate from start to finish, and I think this is a game that sets itself up for like a really good rebound in that way because you could say Ritter is good enough to win games. I've been calling him a high school quarterback since he got into the league, and I still stand by that. But if you stop the one thing they do well, which is hand the ball off to Bijan Robinson and then throw him the ball, you kind of neutralize him. He's similarly uses Kamara, but he's much more physical. He's more dynamic in terms of his power, so it's not going to be as easy. But you stop that, I think you put the ball in Ritter's hands, and it's a turnover frenzy. It's a bad mistake here, and Todd Bowles gets a feast on that. And so I think that's kind of the game plan. That's my key. Just contain Bijan wherever they use him. And I don't know if you watched enough Falcons game, Stank, but the guy's splitting carries with his backfield mate, but he's at a wide receiver while they have a running back in the backfield. He's running slant routes. He's running all these different routes. He's got actual route. I think he ran 15 routes in that game out of a wide receiver position. That's crazy. He gets more targets than Kyle Pitts. Gator, by the way. No surprise there.
Yeah. Well, they don't use Kyle Pitts to his full potential there, but that's okay. I hope they continue not to use the guy. They're not dissimilar to what we face, against New Orleans. They have, good talent at the skill positions and a terrible quarterback. And that's exactly what we faced in New Orleans. And their defense, I don't know. I don't really know what it is. I guess they played fairly decently. They got patchwork of guys, some older veterans and things like that. I don't know. It just feels like they're not on our level. And that's what I want to feel leaving that game. Like there's a big difference between us and them. I felt like that with New Orleans, but in our 2 losses, our 2 opponents, they just played better than us. They didn't beat themselves. They took advantage of their opportunities. I think they were more physical than us. They took it to us, and they won the line of scrimmage. That can't be the theme in this game. We have to come out and impose our will on defense. And yeah, I'm sick of saying it. Everybody's sick of saying it. We got to get our shit together in the run game. I don't think it's necessarily a physical thing. We're not an overly powerful offensive line, but we're not a finesse offensive line either. We've got the guys, I think, that can run this offense successfully. I just don't know where it is, where the failure is.
It might just be that they're learning this scheme still. And it's week 6 in terms of their ability to play together. Their live action, the live bullets that matter when it's pass blocking and run blocking, like that's a different ball game, man. You kind of have to be like I said, in the live action for that stuff to start to kind of sink in, and it's not an easy scheme to pick up. So I keep leaning back to, I think it's the scheme. And they kind of hinted towards that in the beginning of the season, or not beginning of the season, in the offseason when they hired Canales. He said this is going to be a little bit of a work in progress. Got to give us a little bit of time. Got to be patient. I agree with a lot of that stuff, and I get it. But at some point, you got to go to Goody and some of these other guys and be like, hey, what did we do last year that was okay? And these guys do know how to do well, that we can mix into this, because you can't consistently hand the ball off to anybody back there and have a defender in their lap every single time. One, you can't get into a flow of a play. And as a running back, it's almost like a shooter and ball. You got to be able to kind of get into a flow. And like, as badly as we've run the ball, I get it. But man, you can't expect much if you're only going to give your guy 7 carries. Like, what are you going to get from that? Like, you can't even get a lather going. And so it's a little bit of a two-way street, right?
When 5 of those carries are absolutely, abysmal and guys are getting hit in the backfield, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter what kind of back. Look, we all know what Rachaad White is. He's a patient running back. That takes movement. He's not a downhill guy. He's not a gap, B gap, pound the middle of the line type runner. He's got a different skill set. He's very smooth. He's got good vision, but he needs to be able to take a step or two. And he's very, very good in the passing game and a pretty good pass blocker. So
why not pull a guard? Why not give him a stretch play where he has time to literally dissect and kind of flow into the run itself?
Because somebody's always getting beat, Sammer. Or somebody's always getting beat. We don't have a whole lot of speed. We don't have a whole lot of speed at wide receiver, right? So the safeties play way up. Now, where we're good in the passing game is in the intermediate and the deep passing game. We're not a great short yardage passing game. Now we got some speed guys, right? Like Devin Tompkins, the number 18, I always forget his name. Like, we've got some guys who can make you miss and run after the catch, but that's not Godwin's game. That's not necessarily Evans' game. Trey Palmer, he's a speed guy, but I think he's more of a deep speed guy. And I feel like what we did against the Saints is we opened up the run with the pass, and I feel like that's the approach we need to take. We need to come out and start trying to take the heads off the defense.
Yeah.
Try to hit them with those deep and intermediate routes to give us some space so the linebackers aren't playing downhill constantly. You got a little bit more room back there. And you can start to build some momentum in the run game. I just don't think we're not that type of offense where we can impose our will
not
on
yet,
the ground. No. Yeah, not yet.
Not yet,
Like you said, it's a new. We got a lot of new pieces on the O-line. It's a new system, and it takes real athleticism to run that zone run type scheme. It really does.
But the Bucs are making it more difficult on themselves, because not only are they running straight into the teeth of a loaded box every single time, but they're also bringing in extra bodies, right? They're all huddled in there, and you're just like, okay, so you're bringing more people in. The Lions played us basically how a lot of teams played us last year.
Exactly the way the Saints do. They just took a page out of what the Saints defensive playbook.
Beat us over the top, and then when that happens, then we'll respect you and we'll step back. And they didn't even have to play on their heels against us, because we didn't run any motion, we didn't run any creative eye candy. We ran nothing that worked against the defensive speed and momentum and try to create mismatches and misdirection. None of that stuff happened, but it did happen against the Saints. And the Saints, like you said, we set up the run game with the pass. There's nothing wrong with that until you can consistently run into a loaded box. You don't need to force the issue. Create more space. And Todd Bowles said it after the game. I think it was the next day in his press conference. He said, we need to look at maybe spreading out the defense and running from that and trying to attack a defense that's not so loaded. And so, like, if you run into we had 10 guys on the line, the majority of that game, line up against the line, like, what do you expect is going to happen? And I said this in the post game. So I think this week it's imperative that they approach things differently, that they, give Rachaad White the ability to stretch that run and kind of get into a flow. Pull away from some of these guys. Don't run behind arguably your 3 worst blockers. Like you have, and that's crazy to say because we were talking so much shit about Luke Gedicke, right, to start the season, but now he's actually one of the better guys on the line. But, like, get creative, man. Do extension of the run type plays. You hate the wide receiver screen. I know you do, but that shit works at times. Like, if you do
not here, it doesn't. Not here it doesn't, and not when you got 9 guys in the box and the safety shallow. It doesn't work.
Exactly.
So you got to know when to call plays, and that's been some of my criticism, with Canales. And real quick, KGH for life in the chat says he disagrees with me. White's vision is inconsistent. Pewter Report did a film study on the Lions game and showed White missing running lanes. He hasn't been perfect, but I'll tell you right now, all 22 is not indicative of what what running backs see. Okay, you're talking about an overhead view. It's different when you're in the backfield. And we don't know what the play calls are. You don't know what hole White's supposed to be hitting. And when there's a guy in the backfield, he has to freelance and make things happen on his own. And that's really not the style of runner he is. I think he's done his best. He is a young back. I'm not saying he's perfect. And all due respect to Josh EQ and the boys over at Pewterport, they do a great job. But I don't think you can fairly judge any running back playing behind this line because they've been run blocking poorly all season.
It's just like a quarterback who sees ghosts when he gets a little pressure in his face to start the game. You get jittery. You don't know where you're supposed to go. You overthink things. You try to make more of things because you don't know if you're going to get another lane again. A lot of shit goes into that, man. And like that, somebody made a comment in the chat, and I kept saying it. Mock coming out of college was supposed to be very athletic, a guy that you could pull and use him as a lead blocker down the field and create lanes and have guys run behind him. We don't do that. We haven't done any of that. Even Hainsey's an athletic center. He's an athletic big guy. I'm pretty sure Wirfs is too. Like all these guys, we're not utilizing that. And maybe that's something that comes later on the playbook. Maybe it can't be installed right now. I don't know, but we've got to come up with more creative ways to kind of jumpstart the offense and jumpstart the run game. And man, if they're going to give you the middle of the field, you have Chris Godwin and Mike Evans. I mean, what are we doing here? Just attack the defense of the Falcons, which, by the way, you said they're not that great. They're not that bad, actually. They're like 11th, I believe. They do give up points, though, and they're not very good at, clamping down, and they're not, they have given up, like I said, points. So there's still opportunity there. I think they give up like 20 points a game, which kind of goes to what we've been scoring, and our defense is giving up 17 points a game, and they only score 17 points a game. So it's all, like I said, it's setting up to be a real nice bounce-back game. But the other thing on the offense I was going to say is can we please get Mike Evans involved in the first drive? Yeah. Get his hands warm, get him rolling, get him engaged so he stays engaged, and then he's good. Instead of waiting until the last first down or the last third down of the first quarter to throw him a 3rd and 13 pass on his cold hands. Like, I don't want to make excuses for the guy. He knows he's got to catch balls, but it's hard to stay engaged if the ball doesn't ever come to you, and it's just like, I feel like he's one of those guys. Stank, you've probably seen it more, just as much as I have. It feels like you got to keep him involved.
I don't think Mike's any different than a lot of skill guys. They need touches, they need carries. A lot of backs are like that. You got to feed them, so they can get their rhythm and play their best ball. I don't think anybody would disagree with that. What I don't understand, and I'll never understand this philosophy, when you got a better than average defense, I don't understand conservatism on offense. I just don't. I don't. Why not be aggressive if you feel like your defense is good enough to hold up? Not just a shot here or there. Listen, Mike was wide open. The ball got tipped. That would have been potentially 6 or a huge play. But then we go, I don't know, like continue. It didn't work out. It's going to happen, right? Defense is going to make plays. Defenders are going to make plays. You're going to have miscues. Continue to stay aggressive. It's like once we, and I understand play action, you're setting things up, but I don't really feel like we have to sit on just a play action game because Mike's a mismatch out there. Godwin's a mismatch out there. We've got other skill guys. You can play the flats game with Rachaad White as well, but when you're coming out of these bunch formations and you're inviting the defense in, you take that stuff away from yourself. You aren't giving yourself an opportunity to play in space because you're inviting hats to the party. So to me, the philosophies are weird. I don't like conservative ball with good defenses. I would rather us be more, take more chances and then, allow our defense to bail us out if we happen to make a mistake.
Just attack more. And if you see that, like running into the teeth of the defense is the same thing as running 4 or 5 yard man beaters in the middle of the field when that box is loaded. What do you think is going to happen? Batted balls? You guys are going to be jumping our routes. Like, you could tell the Lions knew what was coming. So against the Falcons, you don't think they're going to take a page out of their book? They're going to absolutely try the same thing. And the Bucs have said a lot of the right things since the game. Baker Mayfield, Canales, this guy that looks in the mirror and critiques himself pretty heavily. So I do expect that they'll come out with a different approach, and hopefully what they did against the Saints, because that is such a good recipe. You get guys involved, you get things moving. It's so much fun to watch, and it allows things to open up to where a defense can't just key in on you and just play with everything in front of them. You play to their hands when you do that. You're just keeping it all in front of them. What's going to happen? If they're a good tackling team, you're not going to do anything. And if they know you're going to just call 1, 2, 3 step, boom, foot goes down, you're going to throw the ball, defensive linemen are going to what, Stank? They teach you this. You're not going to get to them. Put your hands up. And they're batting balls down. That was the first game I saw Baker's height actually be an issue because it felt like the Lions were just like, all right, they're just calling these 3 and 4 step drops. We don't even worry about getting to the passer. Just get your hands up, and it's just as good.
Yeah, he's suffered with that his whole career. All kind of average height quarterbacks tend to get the balls batted down. Drew Brees used to get a lot of balls batted down. It's part of the deal, right? And every once in a while you're going to get a tip ball. That was a great play. It was just a great play on defense. That they not only did they save a touchdown, but they got a turnover and they made us pay for it. And that's going to happen at times. But you got to continue to stay aggressive, even in the red zone. That's another thing I tend to dislike with like we move the ball fairly decently between the 20s, and then we get conservative and try to play small ball in the red zone. But we got big targets like Mike Evans. You haven't utilized your tight ends at all, really, in the passing game this year, which is kind of weird to me since you've invested quite a bit. You drafted a guy. You got O'Keefe, who's not involved in the offense other than he's like an additional offensive lineman or a fullback or whatever his role is in this offense. I don't even think they know what his role is other than additional protection. And Cade Otton, who Brady used a lot, and Baker just doesn't seem to look for him. So I don't know. I think they're still trying to figure out what we do well. But you know what? Right out the box, we know we do well. Chris Godwin, we do well. Mike Evans, we do well. So it's real simple to me. It's real simple to me. Do more of what you do well and continue to do that and make them stop it and continue to go back to the well over and over and over again until they figure it out instead of getting cute. And you guys love this magic show behind the line of scrimmage, the puppetry and the motion and all that shit. Everybody's been calling it for it forever. It isn't necessary, dude. It really isn't. I personally don't give a shit about that.
Teams that utilize it create mismatches.
A lot of teams utilize it and it doesn't make a difference.
It does. It helps. It makes it easy on your quarterback to understand what's going on. It helps your younger guys understand what coverages are going up against. It gives you answers to the test before you got to jump in and start answering the test questions. Okay. That's what it does. It's not like a perfect science, obviously, but you know what we do best, Thinker? We do best when we got Latte.
We got super chats in the building, and I apologize.
Hold on. No.
What?
Hold on.
This man donated money to us.
We'll get to it, but I have to introduce my brown brother is back. Poppy Latte is joining the show. He's on here, baby. Latte, welcome back, baby. Thank you so much for joining us, man.
It's good to be back.
Where is he? Whoa, he's here. Holy shit.
You don't see me? I'm right here.
Oh my God, bro. No, I had the screen covered. I couldn't see. I was looking at the chat. I didn't see your beautiful
Latte
caramel colored.
Let's go, baby.
Your energy. I'm so glad you're here, bro. I hate looking at Samer's face, bro. I really do.
Let's go, Latte.
It's there. I'm ready. I'm ready for Sunday.
Keys to the game, Latte. Go right off the bat. Cold. Go.
Wait, I got a donation. Can I first give these guys their shouts out? We've got money. Spider-Man, who has a huge dick, by the way. I'm pretty sure because look what he's doing in the chat room. Baker wasn't as bad as everybody says. What is he supposed to do when wide receivers drop passes? Bucs versus Lions game was my first game in Tampa. Had a great time. Hey, bro, I love it. I love that you're in the building. And one more super chat from, I think it was Crown. Crown, do you agree with Baker taking shots on third and short? The two Trey deep balls were on third and short with Mike Evans winning on crossing routes. I agree if you're willing to go for it on fourth down. Yeah. But, yeah, it's weird if you're trying to move the ball. I mean, I was critical during the game, but whatever. Latte, the floor is yours, sir. I'm just going to sit back.
Thank you.
And I'm going to allow you to
shut the hell up.
The show.
I don't need the whole floor, guys. I'm coming in here cold. Admittedly, Sammer knows and Stank knows I didn't watch much.
I hit the horn. Did I not?
You didn't hit the horn. It sounded like you ripped the fuck.
You hit the horn? What?
No,
did you hear it?
No.
That's not.
What is that?
Is
that the horn?
That's the horn.
Oh,
you
there's the horn.
You were scratching, idiot.
The other one was like, it was like,
Here's the horn. Here's the fucking horn. Greg the Cruise with his fucking Costa Rican money, bro. Is that even real money?
It's
Can we
like
spend
$2. I think he sent us 2 cents basically. 5 Costa Rican dollars is 2 cents.
it's
here.
Canadian.
Oh,
What the fuck?
Thank you, Greg. Greg, I appreciate that. Thank you. Admittedly, I didn't watch much of the game. I did see some of it. My heart was ripped out, like many of you, with the Mike Evans busted coverage play that was wide open. Baker just lofted it.
Falcons. So
Bucs fans have lost their minds. A segment, Stank put it beautifully. A lot of fans out there have just not really gone through the pain that we've gone through. Like that was a bad Baker game, but we've seen worse. We've seen way worse. We've seen comedic worse. We've seen Davis's
worse from
a
the
pick
GOAT.
six. Like what? We did see worse from the GOAT. Keys to the game. I mean, we got to run the ball. I think we're going to be able to run the ball better. Atlanta's defense is good, but I don't think they're as stout as the Lions defense, the Eagles defense. The running game hasn't gotten going. And as Stank said it earlier, and Sammer said earlier, it's always one thing. It's either the tight end misses a block or the center gets beat. It's always one thing. 10 guys doing all the right things, and one guy messes up the entire play. So they're going to get going. The Lions defense is, I think, number one now. They passed the Eagles. They're number one against the run. The Eagles are number two. So, freaking 5 games, we faced 2 of the top 3 defenses against the run. Stank, you said they got to take more shots. They did take shots. They were aggressive. Baker just missed them. And I think, both of you kind of said it. I jumped in the middle of the podcast there, but like the receivers, like the running backs, hearing ghost and having to get a lather up. I mean, Baker was kind of seeing ghost out there. He was rushing stuff. He was overthrowing stuff. I don't know what the hell's going on. It was just an off game. It felt like when I called you guys afterwards, the little bit that I watched, it felt like that argument that we've been having fucking since I've been watching football, which is rest versus rust. It looked like they had a bye week before the playoffs and they just came in against it, didn't have a week off, and just got fucking punched in the mouth. They just looked, lacking the juice, huh?
They'll get on track against the Falcons. The Falcons are averaging just under 100 yards. They give up under 100 yards.
I'm not disagreeing. I'm saying as it pertains to the Lions game, I haven't been here. I've missed 2 shows. I'm just saying they just felt flat. They felt like they got punched in the mouth by a team that was, lathered up and ready to go. Falcons, I think they're going to get on track. Ritter has 7 turnovers, 5 interceptions, 2 fumbles. I think we're going to get after him. I think we're going to do what we do. Stop the run and force Ritter to throw. And when that happens, we're going to get after him. He holds onto the ball a lot. He's still young. Kancey looked freaking amazing.
He sure did.
I'm excited to see it. I think we're going to get after him. I think we're going to sack him. We haven't done bull stuff, but I think we get a sack fumble. Maybe.
Ritter takes a lot of sacks. That's the thing. He
holds the ball.
He's holding on to the ball, or his guys don't give him enough time, or both things are happening. He takes a lot of sacks. So there's going to be opportunities for the Bucs to take advantage of that. And when you get there, like you're saying, dude, let's get some balls on the ground. We didn't see a turnover last week.
Nancy
let's get
Bessie,
some balls on the ground.
Whatever your name is there. Why are we talking about the Lions game? Get over it. I'll talk about whatever I want on my show. Don't tell me what to talk about. I just said I missed 2 shows. I'm just coming up to speed, Nancy. Here's the fucking energy now. Now the energy's here.
Now we're back.
Thanks a lot, Nancy. Now thanks for heating latte up.
Oh, they got spicy chicken breast in the building. Oh, God. Hey. Anyway, listen.
Bro, well, there's always a Nancy just to be in your ear and tell you what to do.
Yell at us.
Yeah. Why are you yelling at us, Nancy? The fuck?
I thought Nancy was a fan of ours. She really liked this last couple of shows, and now all of a sudden she's upset with us. I think she wants to get
Nancy,
that Lions
Nancy, we do this to get away from our wives, right? We do this to get away from hearing, you forgot to take the trash out. The dogs need food. And then here you are, Nancying it all up, bro. What the fuck?
You have to take out the trash?
Yeah,
well, I don't have.
We all have servants.
I don't have fucking. It's not. I'm not.
I don't even know how to take the bag out of the thing.
I can't even have that. You know what I'm saying?
I don't even know what that is.
And my kids are gone, so I can't legally have them. So I'd have to do it myself. That's just how it is.
Nancy Bessie, we've not been talking about the Lions all night. Come on,
She's doubling down. Nancy's doubling it down.
Yeah, we're mentioning what happened last week in an effort to preview what we think they should do this week, rebounding from that. This is how things work. If you
it's called context.
Yeah,
Nancy.
you got to provide context. But listen, Latte, you haven't been here in a little bit, man. So I'm going to want you to start us with the score predictions, and I want your bold take because your bold takes are not only bold, but they're realistic, and most of the time they come to fruition, man. And I want it. I have a feeling what you're going to say, but I want to hear you say it. I know what you like. I know what your bold predictions are.
Yeah.
Bro, were you just in like zone mode right there?
No,
Bro?
because I kind of have two. Fuck, but it is what it is. Nancy,
give us all of them. Give us
by the way,
three.
Nancy, how do you know where you're going to go if you don't know where you've been?
Thank you. Oh, oof. Latteism right there. That's a latteism. Write it down, folks.
I'm going to say Bucs win 28-17. We get over the 27 point mark. Bold prediction: Kansas gets a sack fumble. We get a fumble on Ritter. On defense, offensively, Sammer knows this. 13 gets right.
Thank you. See,
13.
13. I knew sack fumble. I knew sack fumble from somebody, and I knew it was going to be 13 touchdown. I mean, come on.
I won't even give you the somebody else. Kansas. There you go. Kansas gets a sack fumble.
Hell yeah. Hey, listen, he's gotten 1 sack per game he's played in terms of starting from start to finish. So if he does that for the rest of the season, what are we talking about? 10 sacks? 11 sacks? That's crazy. I'll take that for a rookie all day. Stank? Here comes some 9-3 prediction.
He said
It's a division. It's a division game. My 37-0 prediction from last week's game. Can I say that, Nancy? My didn't come to fruition, unfortunately. So I'm gonna
stop
back
talking
it
about
down.
last week, like Greg
I'm
said.
gonna
Negative name.
Back it down a little bit, okay? And I'm gonna come back to reality. I think our offense gets back on track. We scored 21 solid points, no field goals. Whoever that stupid kicker didn't even play into the game. I think the Riddler and that offense, I think they keep it close for a little bit. They score 13. Good old-fashioned NFL on Fox score, 21-13. Buccaneers, we get right. We feel good flying up to Buffalo to own Josh Allen because we're undefeated against that big, stupid quarterback. But you know what, Nancy? I'm not going to talk about next week's game either, okay?
No.
We're
Don't
gonna
do
talk
that.
about
Don't do
Atlanta here.
We can only talk about Atlanta right now.
I kind of do want to address that for a second, Stank, because you tweeted it, and the fear of God was just went right through my soul. Are you telling me that come Tuesday when you put that stupid list out, I can't have chicken wings for the entire?
That's exactly what I alluded to it.
Wait.
So here's your warning, dude.
No.
You can't have buffalo wings. Next week.
Just lather them up in some barbecue. Go lemon pepper.
I think they own the wing, bro. I think they own the wing.
They own the wing, bro.
I think they own the wing.
All
So
right,
you got
it's fine by me. It's fine by me. I'm trying to help Latte out. I'm trying to.
You gotta go. You gotta go. I think I'm banning the entire wing next week, and you gotta go straight chicken thigh.
You know what the good thing? You know what the good thing is? It's a Thursday game. At least we don't have to wait all the way to Sunday. It's not really
Short week. Yeah, it's a short ban. It's like a 2-day ban. You know what?
So if you really think about it, we're only gonna not consume wings up until Thursday Night Football's over, and then all of Sunday you can eat all the wings that you want, especially after we beat Buffalo.
Yeah, if there's any week that you have to give it up, it's the Thursday night game week. And
that's a win. I think that's okay.
You just can't have strip club wings this week. No glitter in your wings. You just stay away from a strip club wing. You can have wings anywhere else. You can go to church and have wings.
What was the name of that? It was Magic City. That's what it's called.
Magic City, baby.
Magic City. Bro, hey, those wings are so fucking good. An NBA player broke out of the Bucs.
Hey, shut your fucking mouth. Shut your fucking mouth.
Don't talk about them. Hey.
No,
terrible.
You shut your fucking mouth, bro.
They're terrible. Hey, let me give my score. Stank, you didn't give us a bold take. You didn't give us a bold prediction.
Oh, bold prediction. Listen, I wanted to kick him into the sun. I wanted to trash him. I wanted him off my football team last week. I think Ryan Neal, he's like the fresh blood back there. I think he's gotten a lot of criticism from me and this fan base, and deservedly so.
Make a play.
They showed somebody was at practice, and he was all by himself. No teammates around him over there. He was kicking soil, kicking dirt.
That's not good.
I feel like he is going to make a statement this week. Ryan Neal comes back, completely redeems himself. It might be even a Ryan Neal game on defense, bro. That's how I'm feeling. That's my bold prediction.
I don't know.
Ryan Neal.
I don't know about all that. That is bold.
You can make a play. I don't know about a Ryan Neal game.
Yeah, give me a good angle. Give me a good angle on a downfield completion, and I'll call that pretty bold. That's bold
you know
for
what?
me.
You know what, Sammer? Hey, Your arm is in position. Just rip the ball. Rip the ball. That's it. I don't need it. That's all. Don't intercept it. Just rip it out. That's it.
Just make a play. Just you don't got to come up with the ball. Just don't let him get the ball. When you're right on top of him.
Second ball prediction. Nancy pipes down. She hasn't said another word since, and that good. I'm glad.
She probably left.
I'm
Nancy
glad.
left the building. I'm pretty sure. Hey, my score prediction. It's gonna sound pretty like you say Fox Sports like. That old school score we used to have to watch back in the day when the Trent Dilfer led Buccaneers would play on TV.
A lot of 13-10 games, huh?
Yeah. So I'm giving up I'm putting 13 on there for the Falcons. 13. Bucs 27. 27-13. I think the Bucs figure some stuff out on offense, take advantage of a defense. Listen, Atlanta's got a decent defense. They're not a terrible defense, but they give up a little bit of points here and there, and I don't think they'll be able to sustain enough on the other side of the ball to hang with us long enough, even if they do play well to start the game. And I don't see the Bucs giving up more than 13. Stopping Bijan Robinson. You know what? We got a guy in Devin White who can cover running backs. He can cover tight ends. He's ridiculously good this season. He's having the best season of his freaking career. So I don't see him doing anything to Devin White that Alvin Kamara hasn't done. And listen, we got a guy in Levante David who's apparently drinking from the fountain of fucking youth. This dude is untouchable right now. So my bold prediction to go with this, here you go. 2 sacks for Levante David and an interception this week.
That's too much. You're crazy. That's
happening. It's happening. It's happening.
I can see a Ryan Neal game before that.
It's called a bold prediction for a reason.
It's called a bold prediction for a reason. I can't go. Mike Evans gets his stuff back, and we get a sack fumble from the defensive tackle who looks like he's ridiculous.
I think Levante David has at least over 3 tackles this game. A bold prediction. Write it down.
By the way, guys, we're really good at stopping the run. We are. We have been.
Thank you.
Very stout. But don't forget,
against Philly.
Bijan is a monster out of the backfield catching the ball as well. And the Lions set us up and use our strengths against us with our speed, running those stupid screenplays. So they better be on their P's and Q's as well as far as the defense. Because Bijan ain't Montgomery. He's going to the house.
Well, they ran all over us with Cordell Patterson. Like they have the ability.
Yeah, they can run
to get freaky in the run game.
And their defense is good. Yeah. So the defense is real good this year.
Is there
that's one of the things that touchdown, Latte. That's one of the things that touchdown.
Do me a favor real quick, Latte. Do me a favor real quick. What offenses have they played against? Just curious.
I don't know. I don't even know if they've played an elite
Sam Howell and the Washington football team. Like come on, bro. Like they haven't faced a Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. They haven't faced a team capable. I mean, the team.
If you watch them play against the Jaguars, in the Jaguars' actual home stadium in London, the Jaguars went up and down the field, especially with the pass. They just kind of had their way with them, and that's not to say obviously they're playing overseas, so maybe there's a little bit of lag there.
Hey, my boy Jacobs in the chat, UPS driver, he's a Falcons fan. He's like, the Lions. You're right. You played the Lions, Packers. Packers don't have an elite offense.
Packers are not good on offense.
When you played the Lions, it was the same score that we had, Jacob. It was 20-6. So
yeah,
it wasn't like.
Wait, he's a Falcons fan?
Yeah, he's a Falcons. Yeah, he's been in there the whole time talking mad smack. Well, not mad, laughing at us every time we say something.
Very good friend of mine. He's like, y'all are tripping. I get it. Hey, it's he's a fan of his team. That's cool. That's fine.
The only way. Like I said, the only thing that scares me.
Don't come in our chat room with big dick energy, Jacob.
The only thing that scares me about them is when they put Bijan out at wide receiver and they try to create mismatches with him like that. That's the one thing that they can do with that guy. Yeah, and he's like I said earlier, he's getting like 15. He ran 15 routes out of wide receiver spot last week. He had more targets than a starting tight end. You're supposed to be a deep down the field stretching type of guy, right? So he's a weapon. They're not making him a running back. They're making him a weapon, which that could be something they could use to exploit. But that's why I said we got a guy named Devin White. We got a guy named Levante David. I'll take my chances on that. As long as we get him down, I think, like Latte said, we have a chance. And the only team that's gouged us is what? The Eagles. And they kind of do that to everybody. So what are we talking about here? If we do what we do and just keep our guys down to 50 yards like we have been, make Ritter beat us. If Ritter beats us, we got problems. I don't think that happens though. I mean, guy how about his coach just looking absolutely done?
Oh, he looked disgusted. He looked so on that interception. It looked like his kid took a shit in the living room. Like, what the fuck are you doing, bro?
He was going to call up his boss and be like, can you just get this guy working at Home Depot? Can you get him off of this team? Send him to Home Depot. Have him work in the lumber yard there. Have him feel it for a little bit.
The look on Arthur Smith's face was priceless, bro. He was like, what the fuck?
He would. You know what he said in his head? We could have had Lamar Jackson. Damn it. Damn it. Could have had Lamar. Could have had him. Oh, man. Anyway, listen. I believe it's Thursday Night Football time for us, guys. Everybody in the chat.
Everybody.
We appreciate everything that you guys have commented and said. But please hit the like button. Hit the like button. If you're new, hit the subscribe button. If you've already been subscribed but didn't realize you didn't ever click the bell icon, do that so you don't miss any of our amazing shows and quality content that we go throughout the week. And if you are a Falcons fan, also smash the subscribe button. We appreciate the love. Stanker, you didn't do your job today, man. I gave you one job.
You had one job. What was his job?
He doesn't even know what it is. I just did it.
I know what my job. I know what the job is, and I just didn't have time to execute it. Well, I came up with the content, and next week's show, you guys will see the job that Sam gave me to do, and I think I really did a good job. It just takes some more time to execute. And it was just $2. He threw me off, and then Nancy in the chat, and Jacob McFadden's bullying me. So get off my fucking back, everybody.
Did say he likes listeners. Appreciate that, Jacob. And then Narav Patel said, boldish take. Yaya sends Bijan to get X-rays. We don't wish injuries on them.
You know what, Cali Bucks?
We don't wish.
Screw you. Stank wasn't acting like an idiot today. Oh, wait, that's a compliment. Thanks, bro.
See? Yeah, there it is. And he spoke too soon there, buddy. Hey,
fuck the Saints. Fuck the Saints.
Appreciate you guys. See you after the game. Go Bucs.
Fuck the Saints.
Fuck the Saints. Go Jags.